Today we commemorate our 10,000th episode with a very special guest.
And our 3 millionth follower.
Yeah, we are making so much money.
Next year we're coming for you, Oprah.
She's retired. But we're really excited, and the reason we don't have the guest on camera right now is because this person deserves a special kind of runway entrance. She is the original influencer.
Indeed.
She is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. She is a matriarch. She's the funniest person I know. And don't adjust your cameras. You are not seeing double. We actually share a face.
You do share a face. And there's a third one.
That's right. My mother, Teresa Walsh. Woo! Yay!
Hi,
Thanks for
honey.
being here.
I'm not sure if I like red on you.
Dude has black look on me.
I do.
Yay.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm the bartender here,
Okay.
which
My
may or may not be a
favorite
good thing. What are we drinking today?
Always.
What are we drinking today?
Let's have a little Tito's,
Tito's?
some ice,
Got it, check.
and maybe a slice of orange.
Ooh.
Ready for you.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right.
And you and I are drinking wine today.
We'll have wine.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
And we're drinking wine for
She's
our
much older than
birthdays.
I am.
That's... She's like an elder for me. Just
3
so
years
clear.
in one day.
3 years in one day.
Yes,
Do you know what happened in
It's
3
the one
years?
day that nails it.
It is.
It's a one day
It
that nails
is.
it. You cannot lie
We are fraternal.
when it's one day.
We are fraternal twins.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you for being
here.
Thank
behind
you
my
for
bar.
asking me.
We're gonna go.
Well, I called in a lot of favors for this book, bro.
Yes, you did.
Did she? I heard you on the phone with her. You're like she literally. I was there when she called you, and she was like, "You're gonna be on the show." And I could hear maybe your voice being like, "What's happening?" And she was like,
It's constricted.
It was a little hesitation.
"Well, you were like, maybe I don't want to do that." But Hailee was like, "I'll see you February 6th." And then she told you my house address.
Yeah.
I drove her here.
That's how you drove her here.
That's how she got me here.
That's how that
She
went
drove
down.
me.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy you're here.
Thanks, honey.
And we, this is going to be an interview of humor and fun, but sometimes we go deep fast. So
Okay, let's go
I'm
deep
starting this
fast.
off. We're
Okay.
going to go deep fast.
All right.
Okay.
How old am I? I'm not saying.
Mom to mom. I have been around both your daughters quite a bit. Her a lot. Kelsey in the last few years. And there is the most magical thing that happens when your name comes up. Seriously. Like, as a parent, I mean, like, the energy of these two and how much they respect you and admire you, like, without you even seeing it, is, like, something that every parent wants.
Oh,
so my
thank
question is, like, if there were, like, a code of kind of, what was your code like there? What was your big, like,
I just-
this is how I raised my kids, and
Yeah,
this is
no.
why they feel that way about
I'll
me.
tell you exactly.
Good.
I
Lean in.
was lean in. I was not their friend. I was their mother. They had lots of friends. They need lots of friends, but they need consistent parental guidance as they navigate all the stuff that young women have to do these days.
Yep.
So I was very, sometimes it was really hard for me to not try to be the friend thing.
Yeah. I actually know that feeling.
Yes, you do know that
Yeah.
feeling because it is hard for us. It's a stretch, but I think that separates good mothers from great mothers is, my job was to keep them on track, guide them, and give the best advice that I could, not coddle them.
I love that. So, like, I'm going to
No
follow
coddling.
up. Can I
Let's
follow up?
emphasize
No
that.
coddling.
There was no coddling.
Follow-up question
Sure.
is, when do you feel like that sort of shifted for you? When you were like, okay, I've done it. I've done my job here. All my kids are just as badass as I'd hoped, and they're responsible adults, and I love them, and now I can, like... Or did you ever make that shift?
Well, you make a shift in a different way. It's like I've talked to Hailee and Kelsey and Spencer, their brother, my son. You just start needing your parents in a different way. I
Yeah.
don't need to be that mother that's telling her curfew and all that kind of stuff. But I think the relationship builds layers. As you grow together as a family, as mother-daughter, mother-son,
Yeah.
where it becomes, the questions they ask me now are more like, how much can I spend on my mortgage? Should I buy that car?
That's awesome.
things like
awesome.
that. But
Yeah.
they're still, I'm still there.
But even, I mean, that's true. Obviously, we get very technical advice from you, but I think, and it's so funny because this is like very similar to my first question, which was the thing that I always admired most about your relationship with Nana, your mom,
Yeah.
was what good friends you were.
We were.
And I thought to myself, when the hell is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Right? Because you were such a clear mom. I can remember very specific instances where you would say, I'm not your friend, I'm your mom. You only get
Mother.
one mom.
Mother, 2 syllables.
Correct. And if I really want her
And it's
attention
always
to this day, I say mother.
Oh, it makes me want to drink wine just hearing it. Like, oh my God.
But that said, like I always really appreciated the way you had a friendship with your mom and you could talk to your mom. And I think that
Always.
for us, that's really only happened in the last few years. I mean, I'm 44. I'd say I know, don't you feel
I don't have a daughter 44.
so, but I
She's
don't
so much
have
older than me.
it's only happened in the last few years that we've like sort of like developed this deep friendship. And I know for me, it was, I was going through kind of a challenging time in my life, and I really needed my mom, but I also needed your perspective as a woman. Like as a woman who had been married, who had lived a life, who had had a career, I needed your perspective. And I came to you and I remember I said, I'm going to tell you a bunch of stuff and I need your feedback. And I got all the way through it. And the first thing you said was, I'm so sorry that you're navigating this. And then the second thing you said to me was, that's because I asked for your help. And you said, this is the first time in your entire life that you have asked for my help. Because I was very much like, no, I can do it myself. Oh, no, I want to try. I was the oldest. But I think in doing, like me coming to you and really like asking for your support as a friend and as a woman, and then you beginning to see me in that way, we've deepened our relationship.
It blossoms between mother-daughter, and I think even mother-son, back to your, it does. Well, I raised very independent children, which I'm very proud
But that's
of.
what I like. That's a goal, right?
It is
Like
a goal.
I'm a
She's
very
proud of
independent.
now.
I'm a very independent person in every aspect of my life, my relationship, my
Sure.
my all of
Business,
it,
everything.
business, all of it. And so I admire that a lot about you. And I think I could pick your brain all day, honestly, based on how you're. Again, like it's very powerful that you don't know how your daughters talk about you when you're not in the room. But I mean, you do know. I'm like, yeah, but you're not there to see it. Like if you're not there, like they literally are both like, you just like they
Real deal. Yeah. She's the number one.
for sure.
Yeah, in so many ways. As a human being, I mean, as I was preparing for this, I was like, what are things I really want to talk about? One of the things I admire most about you is what a great friend you are. You show up for people all for the entirety of your relationship when it's hard, especially when it's hard. As a member of a family, same thing. You show up for people. I mean, I think that's one of the things I've really tried to embody is like, hey, a definition of who you are is not who you are when it's easy, but who you are when it's really challenging and how you show up for people.
And when no one's looking. I
When no
used
one
to
is
tell you
looking.
that.
Yeah.
Character is what you do when no one is looking.
And that is, I mean, for me,
I'm an okay person. Let's just be honest.
I will tell you, I think it's important that you help children learn how to be a friend.
Yeah.
Because it's,
For sure.
it's just not innate
No.
that you just wake up knowing how to be a friend.
It's true.
You
In fact, the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are assholes.
They can be. Well, at their age, of course.
Yeah.
But you teach them, be a friend, show up, and teach them what that means.
Yeah.
and don't you think,
I agree.
don't you think you you used our sibling relationship as our most foundational friendship?
I did.
Yeah.
All the time, my mom was like, these are the best friends you're ever going to have.
You might not like them.
You might not like them right now,
Yeah.
but they're going to show up for you in a way, and you're going to have a history together that will serve you long into your adulthood.
Absolutely.
And I remember thinking, God, I hate these guys. Like,
Yeah,
I can't even imagine. And now my siblings and their spouses are hands down my favorite people on the planet. Like,
Sure.
I adore them.
One of them's here editing you right now, so here's to it.
Cheers, Kelsey.
Oh, both
Cheers,
of them actually.
LB.
Yeah,
Cheers, and
the spouses.
Yeah. and spouses. But it's been, I mean, friendship, I think, is one of the things when I think about the things that I've learned most from you. I mean,
well, your kids watch you. They watch everything
That's
you
right.
do, and
They
they
do.
watch your lifestyle.
Which was
and if there's
unfortunate many times.
they make for me though, like I can't tell you what a better person I am than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
If you would have caught me before Sebastian,
so you think being a parent has made you a better person?
your mom definitely wouldn't be at this interview right now.
Do you think, so the question that bears the question, do you think your children made you a better person?
Your children make you show up.
Yeah,
Your children put a line in the sand that can't be crossed.
yeah,
Because, you might have been this way in your early adulthood or whatever. Once you have a kid, and example, I let Tom take one child to the pediatrician one time.
Oh shit!
Something was wrong. It wasn't major. But I was busy, and Tom is their father. Came home, and so I grilled him with 800 questions. I said, well, how did she get it? How long is it? The last, is it contagious? Do you give it to dogs? And blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I don't know.
Well, I took her
He
to the
said, give her
pediatrician.
amoxicillin
Yeah.
for 5 days. I said, well, what is it? Because I don't even really know.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, that's it. I'm taking over.
more delegation.
We gotta know your role. You
But
gotta
you
know
see
your
what I
role.
mean?
More delegation.
You gotta know your role as a
And
parent.
that is where you step up.
Yeah.
Is that this is the most important moment of your life, is when each child needs you the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the really cool things too about, watching you evolve as a human being is also watching you be a grandmother.
It's the best thing ever.
You're so fun.
What's your
Why
name again?
Were you not
I can't
that fun
remember.
with us?
Gigi. How'd you get that?
Our oldest granddaughter Carter. No, I don't know.
No,
Was it?
I picked it.
Oh, it was It was Hailee.
Oh, I picked it
Because I
ahead
was
of time.
you.
It was you?
She picked it ahead of time. She 100% was like, I like this name. This
Yeah.
is so on brand.
Before baby was born.
This is 100%.
This was a dog grandma.
This is okay. This is a dog.
so
First
on
dog
brand.
comes
She's
along.
like, I will be Gigi because Gigi is cool. I'm not a grandma. That's
Yes.
not really my style.
Yep.
Her mom was Nana, so that was already sort of like taken. That was not going to be a
There'll
thing.
never be another
There'll
Nana.
never be another Nana. But she was like, no, I'm Gigi.
Yeah.
And so she's Gigi. But then
Yeah.
even more than that, the cool updated version of Gigi with the grandkids is Gigi.
Gigi. And who did Gigi?
Gigi definitely was a Carter.
It was Carter.
Yeah.
She was standing in her crib yelling,
Oh, she was little.
Gigi, Gigi, Gigi. And I, for some reason, was too far away in the house. I didn't hear all that, or I did maybe, whatever. And then she goes, Gigi.
And you're like, that's it.
That's it.
That's my name.
Well, then they just started calling me.
That's awesome. So do we want to switch from the motherhood thing? Let's talk about your fashion. Because, she called you the original influencer.
Okay.
And we do a lot of fashion talking on the show, if we're honest. We have a lot of people that are in fashion that have
Well,
gone
I think it's important for the people in the audience who might not know your full backstory to kind of like fill that in a little bit.
Sure.
You were an entrepreneur.
Uh-huh.
You, over the course of my life, had many businesses.
I did.
Most of them around design or fashion. And there was like your genius is definitely around like color and aesthetic and all of that.
Yeah.
She is truly the original influencer because everywhere we went as a kid, people were always asking her where she got whatever she was wearing.
Cool.
Right? And it was definitely at like.
I wish we had like 500 pictures of you. Like,
Oh, you don't even know. She had the jean shirt with the belt and the thing.
She was
started
the fashion trend.
100%.
I took a blazer and belted it. Wow. Who
Blow
would do
your
that?
mind.
Kind of want to try it though.
Yeah.
Thinking,
Pretty cute.
actually
Bring it right back.
considering
Let's
it.
bring it right
That
back.
feels like a look for me.
Let's bring it right back. But she's the original influencer.
Yeah.
right?
Yes. I was going to ask you what your favorite like fashion era was for you.
Fashion era.
That you did.
Probably the 70s.
That's
any tie-dye
That's
I
what
could
Kelsey-
put on my body.
You were a tie-dye
You know,
fan.
She
I
had
was
this
a lot
like
of
big
color,
flip, like
a lot
a
of-
flip,
Yeah.
a bell bottom.
the most perfect.
Did you feel like men were sexy in the 70s? Because I have an
No.
issue with that.
No.
Okay, so we're agreeing. Okay. But you felt great in the 70s.
They all had mustaches, and she hates the facial
Yeah.
Who
hair.
likes
I don't
a
like the
mustache?
facial hair.
Mustaches and facial hair is super in right now.
No, I mean if you
My
could
fake
have like
fiance,
a crop
he's
top
doing like a woolly
and
mammoth
bell
thing
bottoms
He
this
is.
big, and our shoes were platforms like
Yes,
this.
yeah.
If you fell over, you broke a hip.
Yeah, but you loved this era. This was like your era. The
Well,
70s.
it was
you
fun
were killing
growing
it.
up.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you still wear 70s sometimes? Do you still like dip in?
I don't actually.
Let me
I moved
No.
past
We
that.
move past it.
Because I cannot do the little waist, the big bell
Oh, you
bottoms,
can
and the
nail
high
it
legs.
still. I feel like she could still crush that.
She could.
You
She
would
could.
crush
I
it.
mean, anything she puts on looks good on her.
Oh,
so
thanks.
there's
So
just
how
that.
was she being the original influencer?
So
Talk more about that.
yeah, I mean, she was the person who, whenever we went anywhere, people were like, "Oh my gosh, your mom is so cool," which was, as a kid, was super annoying, but it was also
Totally.
true. And also, like, she wasn't like high-end fashion shopping. We were in the racks
Yeah.
at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
We were in the
Layaway.
racks.
Yeah.
Layaway.
Yeah. Did you have like
Marshall.
a vision before you went in and you're like, this is my look? I'm gonna get it.
No, I'm very in the moment.
Yeah.
I would be attracted to a color. I have been known to buy a pair of earrings and then go find an outfit that went with it.
That's
If,
right.
know,
So you find like
ultimately
a
do it.
piece.
She finds it like an inspiration piece.
You still do this
I still do.
to this day? You're like,
I
that's
still
it.
do. A basket could turn into a whole palette for the living room.
This is great advice for people who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, but you like, I want to wear that necklace combo today, so you're like gonna create a palette.
It's a new
for the-
thing for me. I'm just
I
still
know,
trying
I
to.
know. She's like doing a whole like
Still
she's
just-
in her jewelry area.
Let's just be
Painting is pretty
careful.
Cool, though.
Yeah, thanks.
Good
God,
job. Good job.
Tanner-
Good job.
Tanner
It's 'cause you
started
talk
it.
with your
I should
hands.
probably.
Here, I'll do that. Don't worry.
Look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wowza.
That's awesome.
And then you had this whole full career. You did all of these different things, but probably the thing you're most known for is what, in terms of your career. You don't know crickets right now?
Maybe she doesn't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it? You can tell her
I
that.
can.
Okay.
Zapata.
Which is the thing you were most known for is Zapata. Yeah.
Zapata.
Yeah. But the thing that I love most about Zapata is not the sales story, but it's the genesis story, which
Yeah.
is
Tell us the Genesis story. You tell us the
Well,
Genesis
that's what
story.
I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
So-
I don't know it.
It was a long evolution to get to Zapata with my business partner, and we had always had so much fun. When we were having jewelry parties, this resonated with both of us. It was such an easy event to attend. You know, we had lots of wine, cheese and crackers, beautiful jewelry.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, nobody really said anything during the day, but when we're checking them out, they're like, I want your job.
Yeah.
And I said, honey, I wish I could give you my job, but we're two girls schlepping jewelry.
Awesome.
But as we got to thinking about that over and over, and our small company grew and grew and grew, and we said, okay, but if we're going to do this, we're going to make this job available to women.
Yeah.
So our first love was empowering women, which I'm still so proud of and
Yep.
still try to do every day, to become their best person. I said, you give them a good product,
Yep.
you train them, you treat them well, you reward them well, they will be successful.
Here's to it.
Amen, right?
It's funny. I was thinking about like your story there and how like women entrepreneurs, you kind of have it in your brain. Like you did all these companies and like I feel like you kind of have
yeah,
that.
it's like a personality trait.
It's a personality trait. You say that all the
Totally
time.
is.
Like if you have that personality trait. So one of my questions was actually going to be for women who have that personality trait but haven't like gotten there yet. Do you have any advice for like women that are like, I am an entrepreneur and this is what I was meant to do?
Yes, I do have advice. But it's changed so much since my era. But first of all, it has to be something that you truly, truly love. We all know the
Best
saying,
advice ever, for sure.
if you're doing something you love, you're not really going to work with real estate or the gym or whatever. And mine was jewelry and clothing for women and helping women. But the opportunities I'm blown away with today.
Yeah.
With you just take this little influencer person on the internet and they just
Can you imagine if you had the sort of cachet that you had back in the day?
Oh my
and
gosh.
we leveraged it to
With
like
Insta.
early
Over the
influencer
world.
days.
Over the world.
people would
Oprah.
have been belting their fucking blaze.
Oprah. I'm doing it later too.
You're like, I'm
not
like thinking about it.
I am. I'm not
might
over
try
that.
it.
And also, I'm not afraid to like kind of go back in the fashion histories, even if it's a bust.
Yeah.
So the best piece of advice you could give someone who's like, I want to start my own business, what's the best piece of advice you could give them?
Well, that's always a hard answer because there's so much involved in it. But first of all, it has to be something that you're passionate about and you're good at.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can be passionate
Hey, y'all,
about
let's
it,
not forget
but
that.
Not good at it.
Not just
Correct.
that you love it, but that you're good at it.
You have to be really good at
Oh
it.
my God, I talk to people every single day who are like, I think I'm going to start a brewery. And I'm like, oh, are you really good at making beer? And they're like, no, I like to drink beer.
That's it. Yeah.
And I'm like, those are two different things.
Yeah.
Like, are you good at making beer? And they're like, no, but I drink beer. And I'm like, well, that's different than being good at making beer because you have to make the beer, babe.
I think it's great advice. Also, I think women by nature kind of downplay themselves.
Yeah,
So I
they do.
love that sentiment of like you have to know you're good at it. So you can love the shit out of it and you can go all in. But if you're sitting there like doubting yourself every day, I think that there's a disconnect there for a lot of women entrepreneurs
For
as
sure.
well.
For sure. And I think what happens often is women keep thinking, oh, I have to get more experience or another degree or whatever.
I don't like
and one of the parts of your story that I really love was, I mean, you made this decision to start this business in part because you're like, I need to make this work. And so there was like this level of like, I have to do this right now. And I think what happens so often is like people who have the know-how and have the passion, they're like missing that spark. And so sometimes it's just like, just start and like you're gonna learn so much on the job. Like just start.
Yeah, but also it's a practice, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure you were like you were like, I'm gonna start, but also like I've got my systems in place. Like I'm gonna
No,
totally
she had no idea.
No, you just went for it.
Yeah.
This is good to hear.
I mean, I knew X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I didn't know the rest of the alphabet.
She didn't know the
kinda
system.
rolled with that.
She didn't know the system, but she had the genius, and she was like what she and Bonnie were doing was the product. Like that's
Product.
you can create
Yeah.
the system. So
Yeah.
We
I think
learned as we went.
Yeah, I love that.
And, I hate to say it, but we're probably kind of outdated right now because of the internet and what all the
Doesn't
women
even
are
matter.
doing now.
Yeah.
But it's the same vision as always. It's the same learning as always. It's, finding out what you're good at, doing it, finding out what you're bad at, and
Delegating
getting somebody else to do it for
ding,
you.
ding, ding,
Delegating it.
delegate that shit.
That's really important. So keep your focus. We used to say, put your blinders on and move forward.
Yeah.
Well, and don't you think it's so important in business? And I know you're there are a billion realtors in the world, and
There's so many.
There are a billion people who do what I do. There are a
Most of
billion
them are
people who-
terrible, but yeah,
Yes.
they're there.
But you don't spend any time thinking about your competition.
Unless I'm having a beer with them.
But you're not competing with them. You don't
Correct.
spend any time thinking about your
I'm
competition.
not interested. You're right.
thinking about your business.
There's just
You
enough
thought
out
about
there for
your business.
everybody.
You weren't thinking about, well, what is so and so doing or what is so and so doing. But however,
We actually did think a lot about what
She's going
other
to challenge
people
you
were
and I a
doing.
lot today, and I
Yeah.
like it. Your mom's going to challenge us.
Because what they were doing, I didn't like.
You were learning from
but
your
you-
competitors.
but you
were
said-
learning.
We had our own vision. You're right
Yes.
about that, Hailee.
Yes.
Exactly. Because there's a lot of, direct sales, party planning companies out there, and they were popping up like crazy.
Sure.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like that one, that one, that one.
Yeah.
And here, as you can see all the holes.
But you were probably
in there.
learning from. You were probably like, and this is why, and this is why, and this is
This is
why.
I'm just
why.
saying you're
This
not
is why.
focused on your
Why.
competition. Too often we spend time,
You learn from them.
but you don't spend time trying to compare yourself to them.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm in my lane, I'm setting the trend.
Blinders
Everyone
on.
was copying you.
Yes. They
Yeah, and they still do. I
And
mean, like,
everyone
yeah.
is copying you.
That's.
so
I'm not taking it. That's
No,
compliments.
100%. That's what's happening. And too often we're like, oh, what's so and so doing? Listen, have you seen that clip of it was Olympic final? I think Michael Phelps was leading, and his competition was looking at him. Was like looking. The second you look over in the final part of the race,
You've lost.
You've lost.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, if I could get someone to think about me when I was competing against them,
Yeah.
and not think
So
about
why
the
I would
game,
never do that. I'm not interested
in what
in any competing with you.
Not competing. No.
Don't compete with her.
I don't want to.
Don't.
I don't want to. Nothing. I would not challenge her for. I'm trying to think if there's one thing I would challenge your daughter
Pickleball,
in.
you would.
I would challenge you in pickleball.
We have a very competitive pickleball
Only
relationship.
pickleball. That'd be it.
Yeah.
Other, you can have the win on all the
The
rest.
only person who is more competitive than me that I know on planet Earth is my mom.
I would not like to challenge you in
You
anything.
don't
either.
want to challenge her either.
I would like to not challenge it. You guys can have it.
And
Okay, I just get to win hands down.
You've won. You won all of it. Yeah. But I will tell you that part of why I think I'm a good competitor is because that's my general mentality. And then
what's your
and then I
general
play
mentality?
pickleball and I'm like, fuck you!
Yeah. 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 No, you are very competitive.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you don't talk about it. You are about it.
Yeah.
That was the thing about my mom. She never talked about it.
I never even knew what that meant, but I was just born with it.
Yeah.
It was just something that's in you, that competitiveness. She's got it.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I can do better than that. And it was not judging anybody else but yourself.
I know.
Very
It was
internally
like,
motivated.
what can I do?
I see that in all of you guys.
Yeah,
For sure.
What can I do on my own?
Yeah.
And then you challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And you're always thinking.
Well, it's like, do you do that? Like, I bet you're still doing that. Like, the growth in that is probably like forever, indefinite, right?
For sure.
But-
She took up golf. She just decided like 4 years ago, you wanted to be a professional golfer.
Such a disaster.
And now she's so good at golf.
She's I suck.
Really?
No, I
Well,
suck.
every good golfer says that they
Yeah,
suck.
they do.
This is like it's like an ethos,
Yeah.
it's a disease that comes with
But it's like
golfing.
in your brain, like I'm gonna take up this challenge, and then I'm gonna be the best at
And
it.
I'm not going to
Unless
just do
you're
it.
a professional golfer, you suck at golf.
Yeah.
Because we all suck at golf.
I'm the worst.
Everybody
I'm the
sucks
worst
at golf. And you're like, I know better than that. Why didn't that putt go
But
in?
how many
Why didn't
people
that
pick
happen?
something up at 65 and decide I'm going to be
I was
really
66.
People like your mom,
66.
you will probably do that too, you know.
100%.
But that's because that's.
But
that's
she-
But I have done so many things in my life that sounded like a good idea at the time. I'm like, yeah, I'll just play golf.
Yeah.
You bet. So full force.
full force.
Lessons,
You were all in.
All
All
in.
in.
100% in. First thing I did is shop for golf clothes.
Yeah.
Shop-
You had to look good.
shop
Yep.
for
You're the
golf.
original
golf club.
influencer.
And I have
Look
like
good,
25
play good.
pairs of golf shoes. But I
I
said,
bet all
you
those
know,
women are out there like, what is she wearing?
she is
I'll
they're like,
put
oh my
pictures.
gosh.
Ding, ding,
But I'm
ding,
like, you know, if you suck at golf, you better at least look
You
good.
gotta look good.
And you gotta have the
look good.
right visor and the right little clippy thing.
I think
to
you'll be
put on
proud
the-
of me. I did this
What's
too.
the whipping thing? I don't even
The
know.
boys in the neighborhood all took up mountain biking, and I was like, what's happening? And I'd never mountain biked, and I went into that bike store and I said, give me the best bike that you have, the absolute best. And I bought this insanely expensive mountain bike,
Yeah.
and I am now a mountain biker. So we're gonna turn the tables, and the question of the day that
Yes.
everybody needs to know,
Okay.
all her fans.
Okay.
She has fans coming out her.
I am the sidekick.
You have no idea
You
how many
literally
fans.
let me sit here today because my own mother
I have people on the
Is here.
streets like, who is, yeah.
who stopped you
All
because
right, so
you're so famous.
did you
The star of
know
the show.
how homosexual she was growing up? What were her red flags? I need to hear them all.
So can we repeat the question? Did I know how homosexual she was growing up?
I just got red on my neck. I feel so
Yeah,
bad.
it does kind of make her blush. Hailee was an outstanding, still is, athlete, and just a beautiful, charming child. But everyone can, maybe if you can see, and I was smart enough to see the signs.
What were they? Tell me.
Well,
Basketball shorts.
Hailee never asked for clothes.
Oh.
She wanted soccer shoes and basketball soccer
Shorts.
yeah, whatever. All that athlete stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
She wanted all that. I was like,
I wanted like a $100 pair of soccer shoes.
Yeah.
She was like, don't you want a dress? And I was like, no.
It's so interesting because like you aren't interested in those things now.
No, but
as
she
a child,
was
yeah.
even then. So I was going to get to that part where, but she was also ultra feminine. Where
Even as a kid?
I know it. Yes, a
Okay.
kid, and in high school. When she go to prom in a backless dress, and Tom said, "You can't go out in that. Put a turtleneck on." Beautiful, and she loved high heels and hose. And back then, you know, So
and babies. I was really into babies.
She was
Also confusing.
all of my children. Hailee was by far the most instantly maternal.
Yeah.
She had thousands of babies. and she before she
Not
go
real
to
ones.
preschool.
Not real ones.
Yeah, I just imagine
little baby doll, and she'd cover them all up, and I go, oh, So she sent me so many
Thousands of
mixed
babies.
messages throughout the world,
It's confusing to
throughout
all
her
of us.
life.
Just a lot.
So, and then she'd walk through the house and jump up and slam the door jam, and I go, what female? And then
What
she'd
male
go
and
out,
female?
and I mean, she can throw a baseball. Tom, her dad was like, whoa, where am I at?
What is
Whoa,
happening?
where am
Oh,
I
yeah.
at? I mean, she was amazing. And then, so you have these two enigmas of this
Super femme.
Phenomenal athlete. Let's start
phenomenal
there.
athlete. Let's just put it out where it is. And
Phenomenal
then a girl where she still loved pretty things.
Yeah.
And she still does, you can tell.
She does.
So, and all the boys are crazy for Hailee.
Yeah.
And we'd have them over for dinner.
She had a lot of really hot boyfriends, I heard.
Yeah, and I'd say, for God's sakes, Hailee, I'd date him.
Yeah.
She said often. She'd be like, invite him over, so he takes his shirt off and we wash cars. Let's wash cars. Let's wash cars. And they would have like 12
Haley's
cats.
bringing all these beautiful men to the house.
100%.
All
She
these
did.
hot
And
guys to
I'd be
Hailee.
like,
And I was like, bro, run a 50, and I'm gonna throw a dime and hit you on the
yeah, and they love that about you. They're
They
like,
did.
this is amazing.
They literally did. I'd be like,
This is
I was like
amazing.
quoting your stats back to them.
You're like, just put your shirt back on.
yeah.
And
I was
also,
like,
I'm
could
dressed.
you please put some clothes on?
You're like,
it was amazing. So our journey through
It
this,
has been a journey.
Tom and I would try to figure out who she was.
yeah. So you
And-
were actually like having conversations before she came out to you?
Oh, yes,
cool.
for many years.
That's cool.
And I'd say, do you think
Did you
she's
know
gay?
that?
I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I think we talked about it after.
Well, after.
Okay.
Not
But-
during. No.
Yeah.
100%.
No.
Okay.
Because I was just letting her grow up and figure out who she was, right? And so whoever she was, she was great. Whoever she was going to become was even greater.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, Tom. She's hitting a door frame, but she's wearing high heels with pantyhose
And-
with a stripe up the back.
That is still my range.
50-50.
It
literally
is.
That is
still
still your range.
my range.
It is totally.
It
You don't want a
totally is.
leg wrestler,
No.
but also you don't want to be in a fashion competition with her either. I'm not
she is.
signing up for either.
I know. So it was an interesting process for the family to go through, and I'll have to tell you a funny story about Spencer.
I know this.
So
I wanna hear it.
Spencer is going to an
Spencer's my
all-boy-
baby brother. He's almost 8 years younger than me.
Yeah.
all Jesuit high school here in Kansas City.
All boys,
Uh-huh.
Jesuit high school.
Yeah, sorry. And
He wasn't in seminary.
but I had just found out she was gay.
Yeah.
She brought home Mackie.
Yeah.
Which was
What's her name?
Well, let's not talk.
Let's get him.
That's not nobody's first
Hold on,
girlfriend
though.
or boyfriend.
Was her real name Mackie? Because Kelsey told me you had this great ability of like
her real
making a name up for people that never
I did
really
real
was.
name
Yeah, so
was
like
Mackie.
Steven was Rodney.
It's burned in her
Spencer,
brain.
right?
Okay, so this was a woman
This was a
named
nightmare.
Mackie.
It was
Yep.
a nightmare.
Was she like Rosie O'Donnell nightmare?
She was a nightmare.
Was she like a Rosie
She had
O'Donnell
a tongue
nightmare?
ring and a nose ring and an eyebrow ring.
Oh wow.
And a belly button
She
ring
was
and tattoos. She was
But
the
whatever.
gayest thing I could find
super
in
butch.
100 miles.
You brought home a super butch Mackie.
Well, she was just
To come
radical.
out?
She was kind of radical.
You came out with the super butch Mackie.
I said
She brought her home.
That's not okay.
Brought her home to my house.
You didn't prep her? You weren't like, I'm bringing home Mackie.
I said, this is my friend.
Oh.
This is my friend.
And I said, well, you're sleeping upstairs and she's sleeping downstairs.
She's sleeping outside with the horses.
So I find out that Christmas, Hailee, well, I just said to her, are you gay? And she goes, yes. And I said, okay.
well, I said, I don't know.
And then did you say
And
we
you
can
said,
upgrade from
you
Mackie?
are or you aren't.
Yeah.
And if you are, I love you. You're my
Yeah,
daughter.
you're fine.
We're good.
Yeah. So
There was a little like rosy
Fast
stuff happened
forward.
afterwards. But we'll fast forward.
Something.
fast forward, I'm so worried about Spencer being at this all boys school that they're going to make jokes about lesbians.
Oh,
And
wow.
Spencer would like hit them because he loves his sister.
Because you knew he would defend her honor.
100%.
Oh, of
He was
course,
he would
100%.
fucking, yeah.
So I'm
this
like,
is a Walsh trait.
This is a
Is
wolf.
it? We defend each other. So I make this pact. I said, no one tells Spencer anything.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet, because until he gets out of high
He's
school,
gonna
he goes
literally
to
kill all
college.
these
That
kids.
will be fine because nobody cares when you're in college. So I'm taking blood samples from my kids. You cannot do
Lips
that.
are sealed.
That's right.
We're protecting this kid.
Yep.
So, Kelsey, you ought to jump in here. He,
She giggles from the side.
she giggles.
As LB's like, that's my husband. He fucking punched her.
He's so sweet. Spencer's so sweet.
I was driving Spencer home, and he said,
Can
Kelsey.
you hear her?
No, it's a.
He said, Kelsey, I think I figured it out.
Yeah. He's the last.
I think Haley's a lesbian.
He's the last to know, Rita.
And he thinks,
But he said
he's
to
having
you-
a Nancy Drew fucking moment.
But he said, does anybody else in the family know she's a lesbian?
He
And
said, how
Kelsey's
did we miss this?
how did you miss this? And I'm like, Kelsey's
Scooby
like
fucking Doo
under
over there.
penalty of death.
She can't. She's had blood samples.
We love her no matter what.
She's sitting there like she's not.
Kelsey's like, we love her no matter what.
Mackie's
Yeah,
our best friend.
Yeah. All that is true. But also, she's so gay. And Kelsey's like, So then she immediately goes to mom and says, I think Spencer's, like, he's unraveled the mystery, which is not a mystery.
Because by now Mackie is not in the horse bin. She's hanging in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, she's
I've had a
totally
couple
moved on.
girlfriends since
She's totally
Okay,
moved
we got a
on.
couple
I've had a couple other friends come home for Christmas.
So the secret was like on the DL for a while. which
Yeah,
is-
everyone knew. Everyone knew.
Spencer was so
It had
sweet.
been on the nightly news.
Okay,
He was like, does nobody know but me and the family that Haley's gay?
Yeah.
And we went,
Oh.
yes, honey. I was trying to protect him.
He was so sad. He was heartbroken. He said, well, what about
He wasn't
Nana?
heartbroken you were gay.
He's no,
He
that
was
he was the
heartbroken it
last
was
to
a family
know.
secret.
No, yeah.
He was
He was
We
pissed.
found out he was the last.
So he says, does Nana know? You know, because who would tell their
Did Nana know?
85-year-old grandmother before their
Did
little
Nana
brother?
know?
Nana knew. And I said,
No. I'm like, do not tell Nana.
Don't, because Nana's
Do
gonna
not tell Nana.
No.
We're from Oklahoma.
Yeah, Nana doesn't
we
need to know.
don't have gay people
No,
there.
there's no gays. There's no gays in Oklahoma. There's still, by the way,
First of
is
all,
no gays in
the
Oklahoma.
Tiger King is
Never.
from Oklahoma.
I want to hear it.
So
Take over.
I was
This is your interview.
just
Sniff.
devastated. Not that she was gay. I just didn't know how I was going to tell my mom. I didn't know how she was going to react. I should have had more faith in my mother. But I went to her house and I drank a lot of wine and I was an idiot, blubbering. And I said, Mom, I have to tell you.
How old was she at this story-ish?
21, 22, early.
Early 20s. Okay. Early 20s.
early
Got it.
So
I just
how old
needed
was
a...
Nana? 70?
Yeah, in her
Yeah.
late 70s.
So I said, Mother, I have to tell you, Haley's a lesbian. She goes, well, I know that.
It's like, and
Have you just not
Pass
figured
the
this out?
wine.
Nana's like, Spencer and I have been sitting over here having this conversation from the 80s.
literally.
Me and Spencer be hanging out every
Smoking
weekend.
cigs.
I'm like, well, fuck, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, Mother.
So Nana crushed it. She was
Nana,
like,
she said
no
it's
problem.
I
who
just
cares?"
take a big drag out cigarette. And
Oh, I didn't know
we
we were smoking over here.
Oh,
we
no,
just
they're
smoked
cigarettes.
cigarettes.
Oh,
we were
well,
doing
I
is
knew that.
smoking.
We've known that for years. Have you not known it?
Yeah.
And I went,
Yeah.
Aw.
no, Mom.
How'd you feel after that?
Very relieved. Well, and kind of embarrassed that I thought I needed to keep secrets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever knew this, but I called that hotline for the gay parents.
Was it like a P flag?
I did. No.
Was it called 1-800-NOVENA or was it?
No. Somehow.
There
This
was
is
an actual
serious.
hotline?
I don't know.
Okay, we're ready.
Hold on. Was it like the Trevor Project?
Maybe P flag. It had to be P flag.
P
Had to
flag.
be P
Parents
flag.
and friends of gays and
Had to have been
lesbians.
P flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because my
I-
mom used this hotline, so I know. Okay.
Okay, so I called and I'm sobbing, right? A man answers the phone and he said, hello, how are you? And I said, just found out my daughter's gay. And he said to me, it will get better.
Oh,
Don't worry.
I love that man.
Everything will be fine.
wow.
And
Let's cheers
so,
to him.
Yeah.
Here's to
so
that guy.
whoever that person was,
An angel.
kind of saved my
An
life
angel.
that night. You know, because I was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
so
we have to-
I think something that's important to say out loud as someone who's been doing this a long time, that parents have they're having their own process. As long as it takes you to come out, it takes them some time to like understand what's happening.
Has to
This is
be.
a great conversation.
There's a grief process that happens that you have to let them have.
They're worried about how you're going to be accepted in society. That's their
100%,
biggest
That was
fear.
her biggest concern.
That was my mom's biggest fear.
I was worried
I'm
for
so
her.
worried. And
Yeah.
I was able to say, no, my life is going to be okay and the world is changing. And she's like, I just want you to be happy and healthy and loved.
As all parents do.
Of course.
It feels like a challenge to their
I
child.
wanted her to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I have
Yeah.
this. I have a very
and
similar.
so we navigated the first couple years were just like us kind of like navigating that space.
Well, and they were pissed because you would bring these very hot men home, and they would be washing
and
cars.
I would bring hot men that I wasn't interested
and
in.
now nobody's interested in what's happening.
horse
over here.
trainers Mackie
Yeah.
home, and they were like, they're not on the same level.
Well-
So actually, one of the most beautiful things was by being able to be honest with my family about
Yeah.
the people I was in relationships with, the quality of human being that I dated went way up
Yeah.
because I
It
had to
did.
bring
Yeah.
them home.
It
Yeah,
did.
because
And
you
I-
had to bring them home.
and I-
Mother approved.
And my mother had
of course.
to give the stamp of approval. So I think that's a really important lesson.
All of it is so good.
Yeah,
to
it's
talk about
relevant.
it. It's very
I mean,
relevant.
it's
Yeah.
your child.
It's very relevant.
Their person of choice. Are they a good fit? Are they good
Sure.
together? What is their...
But I agree with, because to capitalize on that, my early gay relationships were like just to be like, well,
Nightmares.
they're nightmares. And I would have brought
They
them
literally
home.
gum on the bottom of
I
your
would
shoe.
have brought them home. There's no way.
Right.
Yeah, no way.
Huh.
When I came out to my dad was like, when I came out,
That is one of her tells,
Do you like
by
that,
the way.
huh?
uh-oh.
Huh. She said,
It's not like the sniff though. We can stay
It's
here.
not quite the sniff.
Speed round.
Okay.
So what is speed round?
You can't fail at it. It's impossible. But you can tell me I don't want to
I
answer
have
that.
been known to fail at speed round.
You have?
I have been known.
Oh my God.
She is.
Now I want to fail her. Let's
She's
go.
the most competitive person on the board.
Okay, here we go. Favorite book of all time?
Primal fear.
Oh, good one.
Oh.
I've read that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
I have a lot
Makes
of
me
them.
want to read it again.
My
Because
mom
I'm
is a
in
voracious
so many
reader.
book clubs.
I know.
I'm in
this
But
about
that
you.
one jumped
You
out.
and I have talked about books before.
Yes, we
I'm
have.
in so many book clubs. I read a lot.
I read a lot.
Primal,
does.
that's a good answer. I'm going to read Primal Fear again. What is your very favorite quality in all of your kids? Go.
Faith and loyalty.
That's your
loyalty.
favorite quality of me is faith and loyalty?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're loyal
Yes, I am.
to everyone. To your family.
To the right one. F-O-E.
Who is your biggest celebrity crush?
Kevin Costner.
Oh.
Okay, here's the deal. I
He's
ran into him once.
He's pouring a little bourbon.
I want you to know something. I ran into
pulling
him
his
face
hat
to face
down.
once.
I saw it. I met him
And he
once.
was the hottest man in
He's the
person.
hottest man.
It was hard to do anything.
he
Tom
tall?
Walsh.
Is he
No.
tall?
He froze me.
Oh my God.
I'm
he's
so
fat.
I'm actually gayer than your daughter. I'm gayer than your daughter. Kevin Costner froze me. I mean Kevin.
I'm wearing
I saw him at the
Under
pinball.
this skirt.
At 8. Never mind.
He's a good-looking man. Best trip you've ever taken, hands down.
Well, I'm still waiting on the one I want to do. I've traveled the
What's the one you
world.
want to do? Let's
I
do
want to
that.
go to Egypt.
Oh, you guys should do
We're
that.
big history people in our family.
I can't tell you my favorite one because I had so many.
There's not one that's like that.
No,
is so.
there's a
lot of okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
What is your all-time favorite piece of jewelry that you own?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
This is a question from Kelsey. Speed round
Because
question
she's
from
gonna
Kelsey.
claim it. I know what this fucking bitch is doing. Rude! She's gonna be like, put my name next to that in the will.
It's been documented.
I know what's
We
happening.
documented it.
Strategery.
strategery.
Favorite piece of jewelry
I
that you
I
own?
won't say. I have a lot.
There's not one that you're like, yes.
No.
Okay,
no,
okay,
I don't
okay.
want to do
So when you're splitting up your jewelry, have you decided you're gonna kind of like, you're gonna make a little pile for me, a big pile for me, a smaller pile for your other children? you're gonna divvy it
She
up yourself.
knows.
And then we can kind of
I've
trade.
actually
like Legos.
already started working on that.
Okay, great.
She's got that
we'll
down.
talk about that later.
Mascara or lipstick?
If you have to choose one.
Oh, I have to choose one?
I know, rude, fucking rude.
This is the speed round question.
For me.
Lipstick.
Oh.
Lipstick over
I
mascara.
have the blondest eyelashes.
So
It's
do I,
mascara.
but you have to have a good lippy.
Lips.
What is your speed round question for your mom? And you can have 2 if you want.
If you were doing the interview of us, what question would you ask each of us if you were doing this interview?
Okay, let's trade places.
Okay.
Question places. Okay.
So, Hailee,
Yes, Mom.
look to the camera. You fling your hair. Tell me about your mother.
Oh, yes.
Well, part of why I invited you here today is so that people could learn about my mom.
But my impact on you.
Oh,
She wants to know her impact on you.
does this influence the pile of jewelry?
For me?
Does this influence the pile of jewelry that I'm
Her
gonna get?
particular pile. Her
Absolutely.
particular pile.
You have to be the favorite or you get shut.
Also well
I
documented.
mean, I'm obviously the favorite. Your impact on me. I mean,
Just
I
tell
think
me about your mom.
it goes without saying that you have influenced literally every part of me, my personality, my childhood experience. When I am with you, so much of my personality makes sense because I'm like, oh, you're my kind of touchstone, right?
Mhm.
I would say that the thing that you taught me more than anything is family over everything.
Absolutely.
However, family
And one of these.
family is not something that you're just born into. Family is a commitment you make to each other. So
Absolutely.
just because you're born into a family, that doesn't breed loyalty. What breeds loyalty is how the intention in which you show up for each other.
you
so-
treat your family.
That's how you treat people. And so family over everything, but it's not just based off of who's been born into my family. It's off of how we have always treated each other. Hard work. We work hard. We get up. We work hard. We show up. I mean, I think if there is a defining word for our family, it's like we all work hard. We are good citizens.
Good citizens. Your dad would love that.
Yeah, we're good citizens. We're hard workers, and I think what I've always admired about you is your ability to see the solution. So whether that was in creating a business, you saw like a need, you would create a business. Whether that was in the foundation that you created with head and neck cancer, you saw a solution. I think I have a similar ability that I can see a problem
A
or
need.
an opportunity or a need,
A need that needs to be fulfilled.
and I know how to kind of plug that hole, if
Yeah.
you will. And yeah, I mean, and obviously my sense of humor.
As she throws her head back.
And fashion sense. And my ability to always find the camera.
She's not into your red though.
Oh,
she's not.
I know,
into your
but
red.
it's because of Chiefs. Go Chiefs, motherfuckers. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you have a question
Tell
for
me about your mother.
Well, that's hard to talk about because I love her so much.
That's okay.
So that's her. No, she's like my
you
favorite.
love her so much.
She's literally. My mom is okay. I'll tell you about my mom. I feel like we're almost exactly opposites. This is not our story. Like
That's
how
okay.
how close? No, I know, but how like aligned you guys all are. We're almost exact opposites, but in the best way. Like my mom, as a kid growing up, there was always somebody living with us because the kid would be like, we lived on an Air Force base and like somebody would get stationed, it'd be senior year. So we'd have this kid or somebody was not getting treated right at home. So we'd have this. So she's very communal. She's everybody's mom. Like Kelsey was telling me your mom was like everybody's Nana.
Yeah.
My mom is everybody's mom. Like just so many people would be like, Mama Judy. She's just, but I'm like, I'm like the business person. And I'm like, I'm a lot more, quite frankly, like you guys with my brain type. My mom is like this very like yeah, she's sort of focused on taking care of everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes she doesn't even take care of herself. I hope you don't watch this, Mom. But she's always so like loving and nurturing. She's selfless, yeah.
When did she know you were gay?
When I told her, and it was a really similar story.
Well, that's a insight.
Yeah, in fact, like
Breaking news.
well, like I was wondering if you guys had conversations about Hailee because my mom wasn't having conversations. Like I was hitting the doorways. I was wearing the gym shorts, but I lived in Noster, Missouri. I had really hot boyfriends. I did what she did. I had really hot boyfriends. My brothers weren't interested in them. So Kelsey was, I didn't have sisters. So my brothers were like really happy.
How many kids in your family?
Oh man, this is like my interview now. I had 2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you in the hierarchy?
Middle.
Oh, so you're the middle. Older brother, you, and baby brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did your brothers know you were gay?
So my older brother came home with me to tell my mom I was gay.
Okay. So
Because he
cool
was
with
my
that.
cushion.
He was cool with
He
that.
was my, if this goes really bad, I'm going to go in the house. And my sibling relationship is really similar to what you've raised. My younger brother, here's to him.
Chris.
He passed away in a car accident when we were 20 and 21. So
I'm sorry,
he did not
Chris.
know I was gay, but we're cheersing to him because he would have been the first to be like,
He knows now.
he would have been the first to be like, that's correct. Yeah, he would have been cool with it.
So who's your favorite person? Oh, yeah.
She's
This is a
lobbying
speed
for
round.
a fucking job, y'all.
You like the speed
This
round.
woman can't
Who's
stop working. She's trying. This is like the view. We're gonna, instead of behind the bar, it's
This is
now
not
gonna
The
be
View.
around the bar with Teresa, Ashley, and Hailee. Around the bar.
Who was your favorite person growing up? Who influenced you more? A teacher,
She's good
a
at this.
mentor, or somebody?
You know,
Coach?
this is gonna be like again, kind of the shout out. Like my brother and I were like twins, so we were highly influential of each other.
Yeah.
And so I would probably say him.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I would say him. He and I were
What about him brings out the best of you?
everything. Even his passing, like I feel like in a lot of ways he had a kid, and so we're going deep.
You know me.
Yeah, well,
Diving
you
in,
went deep
going deep.
fast. His whole life has influenced my life in ways that bring out the best in me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Your brother would be so proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, that's an amazing story, and
Well,
that's something that should be shared.
Thank you. I appreciate you asking the hard questions.
Well, I
But
didn't
here's
mean
to Chris. I know you didn't.
mean to ask
I
the hard
didn't.
questions.
I know. I didn't mean to. I
I'm
didn't
just
mean to
like,
answer
you
them.
know,
Do you want to ask her the final roundup speed round question? If you were a
The
drink.
final
If you're-
roundup
If you're a drink.
oh God, I can't wait.
speed
Can I
question.
talk? Can we stay for 2 more hours?
She was so worried.
Yay!
that we were
Look
gonna
at
get
her
enough
having
content.
fun
I'm
up here.
kidding.
No,
So
this
the
is
final
great.
question that we end every interview.
Every person
So
gets
recording?
this one. Yes.
Is this thing on?
Hello.
If you were a drink, what would you be and why?
What is a drink? Oh my God. I'm pretty, pretty basic. I'd probably be
It's probably not the
your
word I would use.
Manhattan.
My Manhattan.
Your Manhattan!
I'll take it. I mean, I'll get to make you one
And
soon.
just FYI, you're the opposite of basic. I would say you were straightforward, you were classic, you were on trend, never trendy. Basic is not the word I would use.
Well,
to
still
describe
Manhattan's the right answer, though.
you. Correct, but I'm just saying the descriptor was off.
Yeah.
Love you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, Behind the Bar episode 10,000.
Woo! 10,000! Season 3!
Like, subscribe, share it.
Listen, if you know what's good for you.
She's going to be dressed in head to toe, Old Navy. I get to pick out the outfit at Head Navy
We
that
are
she has to
seeking
wear.
subscribers. I don't know. I've done a little market research. Teva, a Subaru, any pet rescue. If you want to, we are so gay.
Any pet rescue, we could get them all adopted.
Mineral based.
Sarah
Definitely
McLaughlin.
The Lilith Fair. Anything. Whatever. If you think that
The
you,
Lilith Fair.
The Lilith Fair, is that still a thing? Anyway, we're looking for sponsors. We'll wear you head to toe. Taylor, Travis, if you're out there.
We're there. We're there for you.